great organizations are made by good people. You
That's-
keep your people happy, they'll keep the customers happy.
This is CarBoss, a show where we talk about the business of automotive dealerships. But we can't really get to the business unless we're truly creating benchmarks that are impacting people. And that's what this conversation with Commander R.K. Kumar is all about. Commander Kumar is a well respected legend in the automotive industry. And after a strong armed forces career, he took up the challenge in 1998 to establish an automotive dealership that has grown into one of the highest performing and largest across India. This is one of those series where you must have a notebook out while you listen, as we cover crucial topics per episode. He says a lot of things that you don't want to forget, and that will likely spark ideas in your workplace. I definitely recommend you subscribe to this channel, share it between your colleagues, friends, and learn from this ocean of knowledge and best practices. We welcome your comments or questions that you'd like to ask, topics that you'd like us to cover. You can reach me, Taj, your host, directly via email, shared in the description below. All right, now for our conversation. This is CarBoss.
Namaskar. Thank you, Taj, for inviting me to this forum. I really look forward to it.
Welcome, Commander Kumar, and I'm so honored to have you with us today. So, the first topic that we're going to discuss is the importance of image and credibility for a car dealership. So, Commander Kumar, if you can tell us, why is the image and credibility of a car dealership important?
I'm very surprised and very pleasantly surprised that you brought in a topic which is not normally in the scheme of things when we discuss car dealerships. Nevertheless, I would think that this is a very important topic because if you look at image and credibility, these are the two aspects that will make a dealership survive in the long term. Everything else, whether it is profitability or revenues or sustainability, all these are consequences of these two things, image and credibility. So I'm very happy that you asked me this question as to how it is important. Now, taking forward these two aspects, I want to make it very clear that it is not just relevant only to the investors. When I say investors, means the dealer principals. This is something which is equally important to every professional who works in the dealership. How is it so? Now, if you work in a dealership which has got high image, good credibility, then what it means to the professional is that the dealership draws in a lot of business in terms of sales, after sales, etc. Now, when that happens, it is definitely going to improve the prospects of every professional working in terms of their earning capacity, in terms of their growth prospects, etc. So very important for the professionals. The second part, which also benefits the professionals, is if you work in a very good organization with good image, great credibility, what it means is that your stock in the employability factor really goes up because everyone wants to employ someone who's working in a great dealership. So you are, much preferred. You will have a good market value, and you'll be sought after as a great asset to other organizations. So these are the two things that impacts the profession. When it comes to the dealer principle, the things that the image and credibility actually helps is the first, of course, is in terms of business coming in, which, whether it is a professional or the dealer principal, it's equally. The second aspect, very important, is you actually get a lot of good people wanting to come and work for you. Now, remember that great organizations are made by good people. So if you are able to get good talent from the industry, or not only auto retail industry, but any industry, it actually is going to enhance your capability, your ability to bring in more and more business, make the organization great and profit. That's the second part. The third very important point, which benefits the dealer principle, is a great organization in eyes of an OEM means, you want to do more and more business. You want to improve in terms of the network, not only in terms of the current OEMs, other OEMs also want to do business. So in terms of your prospects of enhancing your business, an image, a credibility is extremely important.
Taking this a step further, who are the stakeholders that contribute towards this image and credibility?
Yeah, actually, this is very, again, when we talked about image and credibility, people are not really thinking about it. Now that we are on to the subject, I would think probably there are 5 influences. I would call them influencing groups who actually add plus or minus as far as your image and credibility is concerned, both positive and negative. In order of priority, if I had to pick up, I would just say your ex-employees are your first influencing group. Now, it might come as a surprise, but please remember that anyone who leaves your organization has got a lot to talk about you, good or bad. And these are people who are very vocal. And if they have had a very bad experience, they're really going to go about town and badmouthing. So I would think that the first group is the ex-employees, because they're going to talk to other customers in other places. They talk to the new colleagues. They're going to talk to their friends, relatives. So I think they're a great brand ambassador as far as a dealership is concerned, your ex-employees. The second influencing group is your current employees, because they are the people who are working with you. They will be meeting customers coming in. They talk about how the work is, the workplace is, etc. They also go back and talk to their colleagues in other dealerships, the industry. They also talk to their friends, family, etc. So there also becomes a very, very important and I would say very critical influencer group as far as image and credibility. The third in order of priority, I will look at your existing customers, because these are people who have been in touch with you, seen the way you work, your work practices, your ethical standards, etc. And these are the people who are going to talk about you, your dealership, to their friends. More prospective buyers, they'll say, go to this dealership or don't go to this dealership. They're going to talk to the family. They talk across the industry. So the current customers form an extremely important, group as far as influencing your credibility and images concerned. The fourth, I would think, are your business associates. Now, I think this must be a very neglected segment as far as a dealership is concerned. When I say your business associates, I would just name them. Let's look at people who are your insurance companies who deal with, your auto finance companies, your service providers, those who give you housekeeping staff, those who give you security staff or other staff that you want to, hire from outside. Then you have your people who supply your parts, your car detailing, material, your accessories. These are your other business. Now, these are the people who are constantly in touch with your dealership, with your people and your dealership. Now, they form a certain opinion about you in terms of the business practices, the culture, in terms of your ethical standards. And they go and talk about it. And they actually influence a lot of people because they talk to people in their own industry. They talk to people in other dealerships. They talk to the OEMs. So I think they also have a very large influence as far as your credibility and image is concerned. I would think next, equally important, I don't want to say this is the last in the priority, but I think very importantly is also OEMs. Now, the OEMs, I've seen the guys who come to your dealerships, who interact with you, they watch a lot of stuff, how this particular dealership works. And they go back and talk to their colleagues. They talk to other dealerships. They talk to people in other brands, etc. And I've seen that the word spreads very fast. This is a good dealership to deal with. So I think the OEM staff, per se, also forms a very important influencer group. So these are the 5: your priority, your ex-employees, your existing employees, your business associate, your customers, and your OEM. These are the 5 people I would call the influencer group who will decide the image and credibility of your organization.
What strategies can dealerships implement to improve or sustain their image and credibility?
Yeah, I think now that we have identified this 5 influencer group, our job becomes much easier now. All that we have to do is how do we manage these 5 groups? And let me tell you right in the beginning that many people think, oh, if I have to manage these 5 groups, it's going to cost me a lot of money. Nothing. Actually, it does cost nothing. What it needs is a lot of focus, a lot of application, and a lot of concerted effort from the dealership to manage these 5 influencer groups. Okay, let's take the first one. Your ex-employees. Now, the most, I would think, image or the opinion forming part of an ex-employee is when he's leaving the organization. Now, there is no harm. People leave and go. It's good. In fact, it's always, you should encourage people to leave so that you get in fresh blood to come into the organization. But it's very important when they leave, you give them a very, I would think, very patient hearing. You should be more empathetic. So this whole idea of an exit interview should be done with lot of conviction. Because what I have seen is this whole exit interview becomes actually a farce. Nobody does it. And the people who do it are the people who are not even relevant to the organization, in the sense, who not even have some say in the organization. I would think should be done by the head of HR. If you are head of HR, or even the dealer principal, the guy is senior enough. So you sit and listen to them. Because it's not that everything that they say you got to implement. I would think you should patiently listen, ask questions. And I would think the next step would be even to tell them post they're leaving as to what you have done. Because they'll feel happy that their word had a meaning. The second thing what happens is that when they leave, many dealerships actually have a very shoddy treatment of these people. They don't settle their, the final accounts, pay them back their dues, etc. Which I would just think is an extremely damaging way to do things, because everyone wants to have the money. So all you need to do is to make sure that you have a process in place. You have very clear standing orders as to how this is to be handled. So everyone who leaves the organization knows within 15 days or 30 days, I get all my dues. Period. There is no need to run around, chasing your own money, which I would think is a very pathetic situation. And also, I would just think that dealerships must encourage constant, interaction with your ex-employees. You should have some kind of a forum, which gets your ex-employees to come back and talk to you, be in touch with them. They give you a lot of feedback. Some of them might want to come back to you, after enhancing their skills further. Very, very important. So these 3 things, if you do, I can be very, very confidently say that ex-employees becomes your real good brand ambassadors and can enhance your business, your image, etc. in a huge way. So very simple thing, no investment required. It is purely an attitude that the dealership must develop. So that is as far as ex-employees. The current employees who are there with you, all that they need is whatever you promise you deliver, as far as they are concerned. If you're giving them a salary package, make sure you do. If they have been given a job profile, make sure that they actually do that. If they promise promotions, do that. So basically what happens is many dealerships don't have HR policies. Everything is done in a very ad hoc manner, whether it is promotion, whether it is increment, whether payment of salaries, payment of incentives. Now, this leaves an extremely bad taste in the, in the minds of people who work for you. And they will definitely go and talk about you. And if these things are not good, people won't want to come back to you and do business with you, not want to come and work with you. So I think this current employees also are very critical and can be managed by just having very clear-cut policies. Coming to the third one is the customers. Now, I would just simply put it, if you've got good people working for you, they'll take care of your customers. Yes, you keep your people happy, they'll keep the customers happy. So there is nothing much to be done. Of course, you need to have your process, etc. Keep your employees happy. They will go out of the way to make your customers happy. Period. No great effort required. The fourth is your business vendors, business associates. I think in their case, it's all about your work practices, your ethical standards. There are a lot of monetary transactions that happens, etc. You need to make sure that these are, followed up very meticulously. There should be no opaqueness. They should be very transparent. And also make sure these are done very timely. That's all that, the business associate expects from you. Of course, they deal with your people and they know if you have got a good work culture, they'll experience that and they will carry that. So as far as business associates, they are very influential. They just want to make sure they're dealing with an organization which has got a good image, good credibility, and they would love to work with. The last one, of course, is the OEMs. Now, I think all about, they look at, how does this particular dealership enhance our brand equity? So all you have to do is make sure that you meet the targets and do things which makes the customers happy. I think if you can just make sure of that, and that will all happen if you have good people working with you. You don't have to do anything extra on that. So once they're happy, all that they will do is they'll enhance your business. So I think this whole business of managing your influences are not, difficult, not cost intensive. It is simply about creating an ecosystem within your organization, good policies, good practices, good people. Everything's taken care of, and you have a good credibility, a good image. Well, you're really on the move.
Thank you so much for joining us today. For everybody listening, we'll be back soon with many more insights from Commander Kumar through his numerous years of experience. Thank you for joining us. See you again.
Thank you. Namaskar.